particular webinar, just because it really addresses what I'm seeing a lot of people struggle with out in the schools. So we're going to talk about a couple new ideas. We're going to talk about some problem solving ideas. So just real quick, these learning objectives, we're going to talk about grab and go and bento boxes. I don't know how many of you all are doing summer feeding. I would be very interested to know if all of you guys are planning to do summer feeding. But we're going to talk about using commodities in these bento boxes and seeing if we can't use up commodities. I will also ask you guys to post any questions, or if you're having struggles using up your commodities, let me know what you have. We'll talk through maybe some options of using that up. And we really just want to help you guys continue your fast scratch or from scratch cooking. So let's get in here to bento boxes. Now, I'm sure you all have seen across the nation, if you're on like the school meals that rock Facebook group, you'll see a lot of people are really focusing a lot on to-go meals and bento boxes. A bento box is a traditional school lunch for, or a to-go meal for Japanese people. And it's just a really fun way to kind of get things together in smaller portions, and it's easily eaten. So that's kind of what we want to focus on. We came up with some options. So in this first column, the meat alternate plus a grain. So it's a multi-component offering. We have kind of a list of those, or we just do a separate meat alternate like a yogurt plus a grain like a granola. But this is just a list we came up with just to kind of spark that, the wheel turning, if you will, to get some of these items into your menus. And then of course the vegetables, you know, going into springtime, it's a great opportunity to really capitalize on those fresh vegetable salads. Which are delightful, like the cucumber salad or different things like that. And the same thing with the fruit. We're kind of coming out of a season where frozen fruit and canned fruit are kind of the norm, because the fresh fruit is not as fresh or not in season. So we can really, starting into spring and summer, kind of move towards those, which is really fun. So we made some bento boxes this morning and took some pictures. So we have the PB&J bagel, say that fast 5 times, with a cucumber salad, a cheese stick, and a couple of oranges, or the muffin and egg, which is a really great even afternoon snack if you want to do a supper meal, but also a great option for like a breakfast. And I want to talk a little bit on this first picture about these containers. We took just a basic plastic 3-compartment clamshell for the PB&J, but then we also found these really cool 4-container or 4-compartment containers. And I think we ordered them from Webstront, but I'm sure you can find them through, you know, a US Foods or a Sodexo or whatever you have. A Benny Keith. But changing up your containers changes the whole entire look of the bento box. So you're no longer serving in like a brown paper bag, which kind of implies some sort of mystery. You're actually, you know, presenting the food in a clear plastic container so they can see exactly what they're getting. It's very organized. And it's just really kind of fun to eat. And most of these things are finger foods. Obviously the mandarin oranges and the cucumber salad are not, but you know, you don't have to worry about giving them like kind of the full setup. So we'll go to this next slide with some more pictures, some pinwheels. Now, a lot of people shy away from pinwheels because they think they're a lot of work. And while they are a little bit more work, just remember that if you're setting up for like a grab and go alongside your regularly served meals, you're not going to have to make 300 of them. You're going to probably make, you know, just a fraction of your student body will eat these versus the hot meal. So it's a great way to offer a second option that's cold, and you can make these in advance and then just slice them day of. They'll hold in the refrigerator for about a day or two. And then one of my favorite little bento boxes, and you can find these at like a Starbucks, is the hummus one. You just kind of put the different things that you dip in hummus. I love hummus for pretty much every meal / snack on the planet. So great option for a lot of your kids. Obviously, you would probably gear the hummus more towards your upper middle school and high school ages rather than your younger kids who are not as accustomed to seeing hummus, maybe depending on where your district is. So then we have a little bit more of a basic one. So we took turkey and rolled it, and then sliced cheese, some broccoli, some cornbread, and apple slices. So just really simple kind of snacky things rather than like a super composed meal. And then of course the yogurt and granola, another really easy way to serve this. And the great thing about this is you can make them and it'll hold in the refrigerator for at least a day or two. So you're not constantly having to scoop up more, and you're also keeping the granola and yogurt separate, so your granola is not getting soggy, which is great. So we have a build your own nachos and a build your own taco. You can really have fun with these. You can use a lot of leftovers, which is really great. So if you had, something with, beef crumbles, you can absolutely use beef crumbles. We used chicken in this with a red sauce, but you can use your chicken verde, you can use your sour cream chicken, you can do your fajita chicken, or like I said, beef crumbles, kind of whatever. And you can also, add your cheese and sour cream or whatever else, or have that on as an added option on your salad bar. So super easy. I prefer everything to be in one box, but if you have to kind of have it spread out, because not everybody wants to get sour cream, maybe you're running low on sour cream, you can definitely have that on the side as an option for them to pick up on their way out. So these are super fun. They're little pancake sandwiches. And like I said, you're not going to be making these for every single student. So don't think of this in terms of, oh, I have to make 300 of these. Think of it in terms of, oh, I'm going to make 30 to 50 of these. Also, you can deconstruct this. You don't have to stack them, with the sun butter and the banana on the pancake. You can put your little package of pancakes in there. You can put a little container of your bananas, and you can put your little PC cup of sun butter, and they can build it themselves. Same thing with the crispy chicken. You can have it on the side, and then your little package of pancakes. So this would actually be a lot easier if it was more deconstructed, and then the kids can decide whether they want to put it together or not. So it is a really fun, yet very easy to put together option. Okay, and then so another thing with this Sriracha chicken wrap, this is like leftover. The concept is leftover from kind of the day before. So you could do your Mandarin chicken or your sesame chicken or your sweet and sour and just put it in a lettuce wrap in the to-go box the next day. So you're utilizing all of your leftovers. And of course, chicken salad, always a great option with crackers. And if I were to do this a couple days ahead, I would absolutely do all the cold things and then just drop my crackers in the day of, so you're not, exposing those crackers to the cold. Another really great option are these protein bites. They're super easy to make. You can make them in your big Hobart and then scoop them with your cookie scoop and then throw them in the freezer. They freeze so well. You can pull them out as you need them. And they're a great option for kids of all ages. So it does use sun butter or peanut butter. So those of you who have a nut-free campus, you can totally use the sun butter. There are other options though too. In this particular one that we made this morning, we put raisins, but you can also put dried cranberries, dried blueberries, chocolate chips, kind of whatever your kids want, or you could just do kind of a seasonal rotation menu of different flavors, which is really great. We've paired that with a trail mix, which also really easy to make. It's just Cheerios and nuts, or almonds and raisins and, some other dried fruits that are really easy. And you can make this ahead and store it in your storeroom and then just scoop it out as you need to. The other thing that I really love about this picture with the protein bites with the smoothie, we put a fruit smoothie. It's an orange fruit smoothie. So it's just orange juice, applesauce, and yogurt in a 4-ounce cup. And it's going to be their fruit for this particular meal. And it just adds something a little bit different. They can just, drink it out of the portion cup and, toss it. So you don't have to worry about packaging in larger cups for that, which is really great. So let's talk commodities. And this is where I'm really going to be watching the chat section. But we've tried to make this as commodity friendly as possible. So, you can use your sliced turkey from Commodities. You can use your diced chicken, your shredded chicken, your fajita chicken, your cheese, your shredded pork, kind of whatever, to put these together. So we are using up Commodities. And those of you who do not know this, when I wrote the recipes for the Cooking for Kids website, I did it with Commodities in mind. So all of the items are on the recipes are written. The recipes are written for Commodities. Not that they have to be commodities used in those recipes, but I did write it with Commodities in mind, which is really great. Okay, so let's now talk about substitutions. I talked a little bit about this in the previous slide when we were talking about commodities, but so let's talk about chicken. So we have on here diced chicken versus fajita chicken, and you'll notice the meat equivalents are different. So that's one thing you're going to want to watch for when you're substituting. But by all means, if you're making Sriracha chicken and it calls for diced chicken, you can sub out shredded chicken, you can sub out nuggets, you can sub out fajita chicken. You just have to look at the equivalents or the how much you need to get to two portions, or your goal amount of protein for that meal. So this is really important to look at when you're doing this. You can find it on your CN labels, as you all know, but you have to think about this when you're trying to look at or sub out and use up your commodities. So if we're talking about chicken enchiladas, you can do your fajita chicken, you can do shredded chicken, you can do diced chicken, but you can also sub out beef crumbles, shredded pork, whatever you have on hand to do that. And that's a really big, important game changer for trying to use up commodities. And just think about creative ways to do that. So like I said, so the Cooking for Kids recipes use a lot of commodities, and also writing them, I wanted to write them with a flavor profile that would fit multiple protein options. So a really easy one is fajitas. You can do chicken fajitas, you can do beef fajitas, you can do pork fajitas, any sort of Asian dish you can make with the diced chicken or the fajita chicken, or kind of what even the chicken nuggets, the breaded nuggets are really delicious in all of the Asian dishes. So just reading through this list and making sure that, when you think about, oh, I have 26 cases of shredded pork, what am I going to do? Think about what your kids' favorites are and think about subbing your pork in for whatever your recipe calls for your meat. And it's going to change the profile just a little bit, the flavor of the food, but it'll still be just as good. And it's a great way to use up what you have in your freezers. Okay, so continuing on substitutions, what I've heard from a lot of my schools is because you all are not getting or what you are expecting from a lot of your purveyors, or you have a lot of something that you need to use up, we need to talk about vegetable subgroups. So we want to look at subbing out the same colors. So if you have broccoli on the menu, but you don't have broccoli in-house, you cannot sub corn because that's going to mess up your whole menu, right? So you want to really go through your Cooking for Kids book or even the USDA literature and look at the sections on the color grid, I like to call it, of vegetables. So if you are out of broccoli, you can sub kale or spinach or something like that, but not corn because it's in the starchy vegetable. Or this is always hard for me, and I always have to look up what's in the other category, because things like asparagus or artichokes or different things, or even beets, which I, years ago got very confused about why they weren't in the red orange category, right? But it is really important to follow these when you're thinking about substitutions. It is fine to sub things out. I think everybody understands, especially right now when people are trying to use up what they have as far as commodities, or they're not able to get fresh produce, or any sort of produce whatsoever. This list, these categories are so important in order to figure out what substitutions will work and still allow you to follow the guidelines. Okay, so let's talk seasonal recipes. Like I said before, summer is my favorite season. Spring is a close second, and we are entering into spring, hopefully. Yesterday was in the 70s. I am so excited about getting into this warm weather, and warm weather automatically means fresh, lighter food. And your menu does want to reflect that. And a great way to reflect that is your sides. So think about what sides you compare with your meals that are light and fresh, like your tomato and cucumber salad, or a Greek salad, fresh fruit salads. You can utilize some of your frozen or dried fruit even in these salads, which is really great. Or, changing up your muffins and putting, fresh seasonal fruit in your muffins, peaches and strawberries and apples and different things. Also, one thing I love in the springtime is lettuce wraps. You can put anything in the lettuce wrap, anything. You could do lettuce wrap tacos. You could do any Asian dish in a lettuce wrap, which is great. The other thing that I like to think about when spring rolls around is kids don't want to stay seated, especially high school kids. So you want to think about the mobility of the food. So lots of sandwiches, they're going to want to be outside, especially your high school students. So think about that when you're putting your menu together on that. Pinwheels, another great option. They're light, they're not super heavy. Chicken Caesar lettuce wrap, tuna salad, chicken salad, think just light, right? Think about what you would want to eat on a hot day, or, when you're wanting to, get out of school early. So sorry, I'm just kind of getting into these comments a little bit more. Bell peppers are unfortunately in the other category, which is confusing and again, unfortunate. Broccoli, carrots, and cucumber. Kathy, can you clarify that for me just a little bit? So you do broccoli and carrots together, or do you do broccoli, carrot, cucumber salad? Because that's an interesting combination I haven't tried before. I'd be open to it though. I love it. It's all my favorite salad toppings. I do always love the broccoli salad recipe with the honey mustard and the turkey bacon and the craisins. One of my favorites to do during the summer. And then of course the cucumber tomato one is amazing. What are some of the ones you guys like to do? Put them out there. This kind of leads into the next really fun thing that Cooking for Kids is doing. They're doing virtual farm to school in April. It's a 3-part series, and you can sign up on our Cooking for Kids website. And you want to go to the training tab. So like I said, it's 3 parts. It's April 8th, 15th, and 22nd. It's going to be super cool. Some virtual farm tours, cooking dinners, or demos, not dinners. And then Dr. Shelley Mitchell, which if you have not seen or heard Dr. Mitchell's speak, she is amazing. She's hilarious, very engaging. She's going to talk about creative gardening solutions for schools. So that means kind of using what you have to kind of create some fun stuff in your schools as far as gardens go. The kale salad, absolutely. I have no idea why I didn't put this on the list, Lori. I love the kale salad. I make it all the time with the craisins and the apple vinaigrette. Love it. And then netta with the Italian pasta salad. Ooh, delicious. I love that. That sounds great. Yeah, exactly. Light things that are cold. I don't want meatloaf with mashed potatoes in the springtime. You know, it's great for the fall. It's great and homey. You know, you're wearing sweatpants and stretchy pants. But in the springtime, I want to wear like cute jean shorts or something. Not that I own a pair of jean shorts anymore because I'm a mom and it's unacceptable these days or something. But you know, you're not wearing your comfy clothes, you're wearing your cute clothes. You want light food. I love that. I love that. The pasta sounds a great idea. The other recipe that is a surprisingly amazing recipe, not surprising, but unexpected, delightful recipe on the Cooking for Kids website is the cold garbanzo bean salad. So it's, you know, garbanzo beans or chickpeas with almost kind of like an Italian pico de gallo. It's really, really good. It's delightful. So you can get the recipes on our website. Cass just posted the link for that. There's some fun things. And if you haven't been on there lately, you might want to go on there because we're updating all the pictures. So we have pictures for almost every single recipe on there, which is super exciting. It's been a long time in coming. It's been a lot of work, but also so fun to kind of go through and just make all these recipes. We're doing demo videos with them that we're slowly editing and posting. Cass is amazing at doing that. Yeah. Oh, this is a good question. How many of you all serve tuna salad at your, and do your high schoolers take it? I think that it just really depends. I mean, I'm anxious to hear who does and who doesn't serve tuna salad. I know a lot of schools who used to put it in portion cups on their salad bar, and it was a huge hit. I know that before COVID, McAllister was doing a soup salad sandwich bar, and they would do tuna salad and they would sell out. I mean, it's crazy. They want it without bread. Well, low carb diet's in. What can I say? I mean, you might look at serving with crackers instead. Maybe crackers would be a better hit. Or doing a kind of a deconstructed. So if you're going to do it, it's a to-go, putting your lettuce down and then scooping your tuna salad on top of your lettuce and then putting your bread separate. So your bread doesn't get soggy, and then they can eat the bread if they want it or not. So yeah, so I'm seeing a lot of salad bar. Thank you, Deanna. Yeah. But yeah, just think about packaging. It's really, yeah, the bento box with the tuna salad is delightful. You can take the, just the picture of the one with chicken salad and sub out tuna salad. It's perfect with the crackers. Yeah. Oh, the surplus of the round crackers. Yeah. Ooh, on a croissant. I love a good croissant. Oh man. Yeah. On the salad bar, individual portion cups. I like that. I like it. Yeah. So we will also be posting a menu of bento boxes with the pictures that we took. And then it'll link you to recipes if you need it. The great thing about bento boxes though, is it's kind of like you just put individual items on your records and you don't have to really have a recipe for it, which is really great. And also it's little waste because you're not having to put together this huge thing, this huge dish and then may or may not use it. It's really about using leftovers and utilizing what you guys have as surplus. And making in small quantities and, selling out. The best thing that high schools can do is sell out. Then the demand goes a lot higher. And then, kids anticipate that dish a lot more when it comes onto the menu next. So it's a great selling point. Yeah. What are some of the other, does anybody else have questions or comments or concerns maybe? I'd love to hear kind of what you guys have in surplus that you're looking to get rid of, that maybe we can kind of brainstorm as the hive and help you guys out with, or of course you can email us directly, the Cooking for Kids team, and we'd love to help you out on recipes. But yeah, so I've talked to a lot of people, and they're just really trying to use up commodities. And I know that the state is trying to work with, applesauce. Ooh, this is a good one. Because applesauce can be put into muffins, applesauce can be put into smoothies, applesauce can be turned into an apple cobbler. It can have a lot of stuff, but the smoothies, I think, are kind of the most exciting thing right now, especially going into springtime. As far as, you can mix up these smoothies in your Hobart mixer, or even just by hand in a large container, and they'll stay for 5 days in your walk-in, and you can just serve them at breakfast. Excuse me. And then looking at like a cobbler option, you can, take frozen apples and just put a little bit of your frozen apples, but make the bulk of it your applesauce, and turn it into a cobbler dessert for your kids. And then bento boxes are a great way to also do applesauce, and just put it in there as the fruit. I know that packaging is a big deal. It takes a lot of work. And I don't know if yours are single serve applesauce or bulk applesauce. But there are also some breakfast bread recipes. Maybe I can find some links to those. I'll make a note to do that. But it's on the same lines as, the muffins, as far as using that up, which is really great. So I'm seeing commodity grilled chicken, not breaded. Okay. So I'm assuming that it's not fajita chicken. It might be just the patties or breasts. I love a chicken parm sandwich. And I know that classically it's done with breaded chicken, but it doesn't have to be. Just put the chicken onto your sheet tray with parchment paper, put cheese on top, put it in the oven, let it melt. And that's great. The other recipe I would say is the Monterey chicken flatbread is amazing. Always think about pizzas when you're thinking about leftovers, right? And tacos, all sorts of sandwiches. You could do an Italian sandwich with, your chicken, and then put, pepperoni or something on it, Italian dressing. You could, do an Asian. You don't have to have cut up chicken for Asian food, right? You just make your sauce and you glaze it, and you can put it out there with, a knife, and they can cut it. It's not a sin for them to have to cut their food. You can definitely do that. Sandwiches, put it on a sandwich, always great. You could do a chicken club, which is amazing. All these things. If you want more ideas, let me know. I can keep going. But green beans. Okay, are these commodity green beans, Brenda? Because those need a lot of work, don't they? They need turkey bacon. They need chicken seasoning, and maybe just a touch of brown sugar, just to kind of make them good if you're just serving the green beans. The other thing you want to think about is you can put it in a pot pie. You can put it in a shepherd's pie. I know those are a little bit heavier, but if you need to get rid of them, we're still kind of in that in-between cold season. You can also do a cold green bean salad on your salad bar with some turkey bacon, and that's really good. You can just mix it into your veggies with your carrots and your corn. That's also really good. So just think about some of that. I don't have any magic recipe for getting rid of, 3 metric tons of green beans, unfortunately. So let's see here. Using up 4 pallets of diced tomatoes. Ooh. Goodness. That's exactly blending the diced tomatoes. Sorry, it took me a little bit to read that. Blending them in with your tomato paste and all that, and making marinara sauce. Excellent, excellent, excellent idea. Also, think about maybe doing a tomato soup with grilled cheese, or you can mix those into salsa, or you You can mix it in some diced tomatoes in with your fajita stuff, or if you're doing chicken burritos, chicken spaghetti has diced tomatoes in it, all those things. But good on you for making the marinara sauce and freezing it. I love that idea. And then let's see here. Somebody, I don't have a name here, but they take their frozen chicken fillets out the day before and they cut them up. Yep, exactly. You can use it just, if you cut it up, you can use it just like any other chicken that you have. Just look at your, oh my gosh, the word has just left me. Goodness gracious. What the equivalents are. Yep. Let's see here. Green beans to our taco soup. Ooh, that's a good idea. Yeah, hide them in the soups and stews. That's a really, really great idea. I love that. I love that. Okay. I'm just going to scroll back through here real quick and make sure I didn't miss any questions real quick. I love just talking about food, if you can't tell, and just talking about different uses. And, you know, we all kind of think about food very differently just based on, you know, how we grew up and what we're accustomed to eating. But, you know, I will also just look at, you know, what the fast food and also just normal restaurants in my area are doing as far as using up fruits and vegetables, or just using alternative meats or cuts or different things. What are they doing with it? And I think that's a really great idea, because kids eat some weird things. And sometimes you just don't even think about it. Let's see here. Okay, I think that's all the questions for now. Get them in if you want them, if you want to talk about them. But I'm trying to read through here real quick. Sorry. Okay, perfect. So a couple things. There will be a post survey. Hopefully it works. If not, don't worry about it. But let's try to get through that.
We got one more question.
Oh, one more question. Okay, we have a ton of breakfast chicken patties, pulled pork, canned chicken, ideas other than sliders. Yes. So breakfast chicken patties, put them on a biscuit, put them on an English muffin, drizzle honey on them and do a chicken biscuit, which is delightful. Cut them up and put them in scrambled eggs. Serve it with a tortilla and let them build their own breakfast burrito. The pulled pork, the Cuban sandwich is the best thing to happen to pulled pork ever. There are also, and that's a Cooking for Kids recipe. It's on the website. There's also a pork verde that uses the pulled pork, and as you know, toppings for like, it can be an enchilada, it can be a nacho topping, it can be a taco, it can be kind of whatever, which is really great. But also look at, you know, barbecue is also a great option. I know you're not looking for, you're not looking for sandwich ones. So look at putting on pizza. So I had this last week, somebody told, well, my sister-in-law made pulled pork and she put hot like wing sauce on it and put it on a pizza. It was really good. It was pretty delightful. And then canned chicken. Oh my goodness. So, so many things. You can use it just like any other chicken. You can do chicken salad. You can do taco soup with chicken. You can do any sort of Asian dish is great with chicken. I will say the pulled pork is also really good with everything Asian. So utilizing it in that way is really good. So I hope that answers. Also, I mean, if you just go through, you know, another thing I like to do is just look at other people's recipes, just not even like the recipe like in depth, but just look at titles and be like, oh, could I sub in? And usually the answer is yes. So just, you know, keep that in mind. So Lori says that their most unique dish this year was sushi bowls, utilizing commodity fish sticks, edamame, whole grain rice, matchstick carrots, and black sesames on top. That is great. I know they were doing that at Jinx a couple of years ago, and they were even putting it with noodles. Just, you know, your whole grain spaghetti noodles, and turning that into lo mein, and it worked out really good, really well with those commodity fish sticks. And it was a great way to use those up. Now, there are basic Asian sauces on the Cooking for Kids website that work with fish. You can also look at the Sriracha sauce. You can turn the Sriracha chicken into fish. That's a really great option. But yeah, great. That's so exciting that the Asian bowls, I like those. Ooh, Western baked potatoes. Ooh, Judy, tell me more about this. Are you using, is it just like a loaded baked potato with whatever you kind of have left over? You could do pulled pork, you could do diced chicken, you could do kind of whatever. I love that. I love that. Mashed potato bowls, also a really, really good option, Brenda. That's great. Just, I think a couple years ago, KFC came out with mashed potato bowls and they had a lot of like corn and gravy and cheese and chicken nuggets, but you could totally do pulled pork or beef crumbles or pulled chicken, or even, you know, your grilled chicken breasts with that, and that'd be great. Yep. Let's see here. I'm a little bit behind. Sorry. Pulled pork breakfast tacos. Ooh, I love that. I love that. I mean, also street tacos, serve it, you know, with a little like Mexican slaw and a lime, and it's great. There's a recipe on the Cooking for Kids website. I'm plugging the website a lot, I know. But it's jicama slaw, and it does take a little bit of work, but it is so good with everything like street taco. It's great with barbecue. It's great with a lot of things. It's delicious. Okay, so Lori's saying we're not seeing any of Judy's comments. Judy just commented again, so I will read it out loud. We use leftover roast pork and pulled pork with butter, sour cream, and kind of build your own baked potato for a change. I love that. I think that's a great option for that. And also, if you reference in your Cooking for Kids summer training book, you have that flavor profiles page, and it gives you a really great kind of guideline for if you want to make it Latin or Mexican, you add cumin and garlic powder and chili powder. If you want to make it Asian, you add, you know, your ginger and your garlic and your scallions and your sweet chili sauce and different things like that. So, you know, that is also a really great way to kind of get inspired and look at some different options for kind of spicing up your leftovers, which is really, really great. But I like the idea of that baked potato because I mean, you could definitely do several options on your serving line because baked potatoes are so easy. So if you needed to run out multiple meats, you could have, you know, a pork offering and then also a chicken offering to put on that, and then all your kind of fixins on the bar as well that, you know, you would be serving for them, so they wouldn't have to, you know, put their little dirty fingers where we don't know where they've been in those things. Okay. Anything else? I love this brainstorming. This is so fun. This is so fun. I think let me scroll down and see if I missed any. Nope, I think I'm up to date there. Okay, well, we might call it a day unless somebody has anything else. Oh yeah, the post survey. Trying to get out of the post survey. We just posted the link for the post survey. Let me know if it works. If it doesn't, we'll try to problem solve it over here. Let's see. And don't forget about the farm to school stuff. That's going to be super fun. We are still planning to do summer training in person. Cross your fingers. Hopefully everything works out. Everybody's well. I know that last summer was so sad for me that I didn't get to see all your smiling faces. So I am just really hoping that we can do in-person training. Oh yeah, we need to post Cole's email address again. So we will be posting kind of places and dates. I think after spring break at some point in time. So look for that. I think the April, it's coming out in April. So look for Cooking for Kids emails about that. Look for the Department of Ed sending out emails for that. Sign up. I would love to see all of you. I feel like I'm just slowly dying as like a social person because I haven't seen anybody in so long. So please sign up so I can see people. It'd be amazing. And I won't be pregnant this year, so I'm not going to be throwing up all the time. Added bonus. It's going to be great. You're welcome for that, Lori Edmondson. Hi, Evelyn. Of course, Bobby, thanks for joining us. Thank you, thank you. Oh, we miss you guys too. Thanks, Brenda. It is really easy to get stuck in a rut. I mean, goodness, I've been cooking at home now very consistently for the last year and I get stuck in a lot of ruts. My baby is starting to eat real food and it's challenging. Of course, Luann, have a good day. Okay, well, those of you who are done, yes, we will see you at the next one. Oh my gosh. Oh, I hate not leaving. I had to quarantine with a husband and a baby for 10 days. It was really rough. It was really rough. Okay, so the 3-day training is 3 different weeks. So it's April 8th, April 15th, and April 22nd. And it's all virtual. And it's going to be super cool. And you can sign up at Cooking for Kids, but watch for your emails too. We'd love to send out a good email. Okay, well, thank you guys so much for joining us. If you're done with the survey, I do love reading your comments and responding to them, so I will stay on for just a little bit. But thank you guys so much for joining us, and we hope to see you guys soon. The email is on this chat. We will post it again. It's Robert C. Dillman, yeah, otherwise known as Cole. Okay. You guys enjoy your day. Oh, you saw it but wouldn't come up. You might have to write it down. The email or the survey, Tamara? The Zoom, that is good feedback. We will try to have them after 1:30. Thank you so much for it. We will, this is recorded, so you can watch that later. We'll probably post it by the end of the week. Yeah, your people can watch it. And all of the webinars that we've been doing have been recorded. You can find them on our website. If you have any questions, go ahead and email Cole or Cass. And they'll be able to kind of direct you in that area. So Tamara, the email you will probably need to write down, and I can just say it out loud if you need me to real quick. Let me get to it. I did not memorize Cole's email. So it's robert.c.dillman@okstate.edu. So you probably will not be able to click on it and it will not come up like as an email. You'll probably have to write it down and then type it into your recipient's, your email recipient. Yep. Okay. Well, you guys have a wonderful day and hopefully I'll see you guys soon.